I'll let you on. I don't know if you guys have had a death of a loved one that just seems like it happened an eternity ago, but it also happened yesterday, and that's the way I feel about this. That's my sweet mama, right there, along with my probably 275-pound self. And she was one of the most beautiful people I've ever met in my entire life. And she did not get to see me be healthy. She didn't get to see me be healthy, but she was sick for so long. She had ovarian cancer. That's what ended up taking her life. And she had that for almost 10 years. And so if you know anything about ovarian cancer, that's a really long time, a really long time. And she never thought that she would be able to see me get married, which she did. And she never thought she'd be able to see me have babies, which she got to see 2 of the 3 of my babies. And we not jokingly say that she is sole responsible for standing next to God and saying, give him a little boy, because we do have a sweet 5-year-old little boy named William. And she was the only one that ever guessed what his name was, because we don't find out the sex of our babies. And she said, his name's William David. And I said, maybe. And she was right. And so anyways, I just say that not to bring everybody down or send everybody back into grief, but just to tell you that it seems like yesterday that I started Optavia. And when that box arrived, I was hopeless. I just finished spring break. I was 292 pounds. And I was like, we'll see if this works. It was my 20th program to do. 20th. Lucky number 20. Okay. Not very often does this happen, but Kristen texted me this morning and said, or this afternoon, whatever, and said, will you talk about self-sabotage and excuses today? And I said, it's so weird because you sent me, or I saw a reel this morning on Instagram that that really resonated with me. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And then I told my best friend, Audrey Peterson, I was like, hey, I'm going to speak on self-sabotage and excuses today. And she goes, that's a really good topic for you to talk about. She goes, you're really good at that. I said, thank you for that vote of confidence. So you too can find your best friend through coaching and Optavia. Please come join us. That calls you out on your bull crap. So anyways, so 4 years ago, seems like yesterday. I love this program. I love everything that it's done for me. Sorry, I'm still getting situated here. I was set up a different way. Okay. I want to make sure I've got my notes so I stay on track here with you guys. It happens in the blink of an eye, but you have to make it happen. You have to make it happen. And, you know, I want to take a second just to like talk about the personal side of this and like what I used to do, you know, because it's been 4 years since I've stopped doing a lot of things. 4 years ago, I was like watching Netflix and eating a bag of chips at 2 p.m. before my kids would come home. And I was going to bed. I was waking up in chaos. Like I was waking up to the chaos of my kids. Has anybody ever done that? Like just you're like, let them wake you up versus waking up yourself. I was going to bed, just collapsing in my bed, like not really in my bed, in the blue chair out there, actually. And I was sick of like just eating the crusts off my, like from my kids' sandwiches, like that they didn't eat. And like scraping the bottom of the mac and cheese bowl because they didn't eat it because we don't waste food over here, right? I was sick of shopping in the maternity section at Target. I wasn't pregnant. The clothes were just cuter. And I didn't want to wear clothes that made me feel like crap, you know? I was sick of telling myself that I'll start after I finish having babies. That was a good one. My oldest is 13, almost 14 years old, and my youngest just turned 5. That's a long time to be unhealthy. And if anything connects with you, and Kristen does this too, write connected in the chat, please. I love to see that I'm not alone too. And I want everybody else to know that they're not alone in this as well. I was sick of shrinking myself. I was sick of feeling sorry for myself. I was sick of me. And I was tired of my own excuses. I really was, because I would look in the mirror and I would see somebody that I knew there was more in there. I just didn't know how to go get her, And then that brown box arrived and I started to have a little bit of hope. That first 5 pounds that I lost felt like 50 pounds. Honestly, I remember that day. I give myself a fist pump. Um, there was just a point in my life that I knew exactly what I needed to do. I'm smart. I'm fully capable. I have my degree in exercise physiology. That's funny to tell. I say that all the time, um, because I don't have my degree in emotional management. I don't think anybody on this screen that has weighed over 100 pounds, been over 100 pounds overweight, knows how to do that really well. Um, and I acted like I didn't care, but I cared so much that it hurt. But I covered that up. And I've been thinking about today, and actually like all day, really, for a lot of the day, at least not all day, but for a lot of the day, I've been thinking about sabotage, self-sabotage. And I wasn't sabotaging myself, I was rewarding myself. Because what looked like self-sabotage was really just my brain trying to protect me. And that's what self-sabotage is. Our bodies are not designed, our God did not design our brains to hurt ourselves. Marta, I see you shaking your head, nodding. It was my brain trying to protect me. Our brains are not wired for achievement. They're wired for survival. And survival doesn't care. Survival doesn't care about your goals, you guys. It only cares about what's familiar. And so when you start getting close to change, or you start getting close to your goal, your brain pulls you back. When you start getting close to losing something, your brain pulls you back because it's trying to protect you. Because the devil, what is it? The devil feels safer than the one you don't. But I want you to hear me, okay? You're not broken. I am not broken. You are not failing. I am not failing. I feel like it all the time, right? We're just operating on a system that has not been updated. And that's why we're here. And I'll tell you this, like, when I stopped making it wrong for pulling myself back, and when I stopped calling it laziness, and I started calling it what it actually is, which is misplaced fear, everything shifted. Everything is still shifting. As I move into like a new season of my life, everything is shifting. And that's what it is. It's not, it's misplaced fear is what it is. It's unfair fighting with myself, if you will. And so I want to like challenge you a little bit, just like I'm challenging myself. I do not tell you guys anything to do that I am not doing myself. And so I've been asking myself this question, pretty frequently, in it recently, in a different sort of way, but I want it to make sense for you guys, there's value for everybody. What fear in your brain is trying to protect you from you right now? What fear in your brain is trying to protect you from you right now? And I say this all the time about awareness. Like, and if you're one of my clients, you'll know this. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. You are aware of something, like that is a win right there. Because when you can bring awareness to it, you know how to navigate it. But if you're doing what we've done in the past and just numbing it and pushing it away and saying, go away, go sit over there, then it's going to go sit over there, and you're just going to ignore it, right? But if you have awareness and you address it, then you can heal it. When you take ownership, you take the wheel. you take ownership, you take the wheel. You guys have got to own it, and awareness is the beginning of ownership. Okay. I want to talk about some excuses. Okay. Because that's owning it, right? When we own our excuses. And I hear this a lot from my clients and from you guys when I lead calls, or, from people that haven't started yet, that haven't found us yet. I don't have time. I'm like, bull crap. I bet you just scrolled Instagram for 42 minutes. You don't have time? I can't afford it. The Amazon boxes that I see on your front porch every day tell me different. I mean, I'm speaking of somebody that lives. If my client that lives directly across the street from me is on this call, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the person that butts up to our garage. So there's that, who's not on this call because she's not a client yet. Just clarifying that. But the client that it could be on this call that lives across the street watched me walk out to my car for 3 years before joining me. 3 years. She got done to her high school weight last year, by the way. When is the right time? After you're diagnosed, after your kids grow up, I mean, like, and you're still stuck. Like, what is the right time? There isn't one. You can be kind to yourself and still be honest to yourself, with yourself. So here's what I want to ask you today. Okay. And I'll put this in the chat at some point. My notes are here. My camera's there. So I'll figure it out in just a little bit. Maybe I'll text Amy Dotson and send it to her. That's what I'll do. Here's some questions that I want you to think about. Amy, these are coming to you, and Shannon. Here, these 3 questions. Okay. What's actually holding you back? And it doesn't have to just be about weight loss. What's actually holding you back? What lie or excuse are you dressing up as reasonable? Where are you giving yourself grace? I love grace. I love Jesus. But grace can be an excuse too. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of grace. Stop. Don't let that be an excuse for yourself. And what would happen if you stopped waiting for confidence and started earning it through action? Confidence isn't the starting line. It's the byproduct. And I heard the other day about the difference between motivation and inspiration. Motivation is caused by something outside of yourself. Inspiration is inward. And motivation, if you're waiting on motivation, it's never going to come. You have to inspire yourself. That's why we create a why. Okay. And you have done a lot harder things than this. A lot harder things than this. Like survived hell and high water things than this. You may have pushed out babies. That's a whole lot harder than this. I lost 90 pounds in the same time that I carried a child. Holy cow. When we open up about things, we can talk honestly to ourselves. And that's what it's all about, is being vulnerable and sharing. And because you're not lazy, you're not unmotivated, you're not doomed. You've just been stuck in a loop that says surviving is enough. And that's not good enough for me anymore. Because I used to live a good enough life. And some days I still do. I'm a human being, just like you. But we're made to feel alive, and we're made to feel like more. But sometimes we just have to give ourselves permission to want more. That's it. Because remember, our brain is designed to protect us, not hurt us. So is self-sabotage really real? I don't know. I want you guys to think about that for a little bit. I want to land this and then open it up for you guys. And this isn't about shame or guilt. Okay. This is all just about taking your power back. And that's our job as your coaches, is to allow you to do that, to allow yourself to not like blame your mother-in-law for being in town, that you can't stay on plan. Yes, you can. You just don't want to. And you have to figure out why you don't want to. And once you can do that, and once you can start waiting, and once you start owning it, things will change. It's not going to be perfect. It will not be overnight. Y'all fail every other day. You step on that scale, oh, I gained 0.2 pounds. Wah, 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 wah. Your body's holding on to what you need. Go look at the past month and you'll see that trend going down, but don't allow yourself to stay stuck in failure every single day based on what the scale says. Know your truth. You stayed on program the last day. If you didn't, own it. Somebody the other day said I'm sure she's on, I'm going to look. I can't see the chat right now. Barbie, if you're on, I'm going to call you out. I have a coach that I was talking to, and she's like, well, I was kind of off plan. Kinda. She kept kind of saying kinda. And I was like, no, you're like on or off. Own it. Not kinda. Try, kinda, hope. Non-committal words. Non-committal words. So you're not going to do this perfectly. You're not going to do it overnight, but you can do it permanently. And you deserve to feel proud of yourself, but you have to make the choices. You have to make the choices. And this is not just about hitting a number on the scale at all. It's not. It's when you start to stop hiding. Stop hiding from yourself mainly. It's real easy to live life alone, but it sucks. And that's why I coach. I ripped the Band-Aid on coaching. I was like, I don't know, we'll see how this works out. It worked out pretty damn well. And Lord have mercy, I needed these people. More so, I needed the clients than I ever needed my coaching friends at all. Because you guys have been the ones that have kept me on track. I don't do stupid stuff. I still do stupid stuff. Because I still am a food addict. I still numb with food. I still binge sometimes. Gain some weight back. But I'm still here and I'm still dealing with my. That one started with a B and ended in a T. I had an SHI in the middle. I want to speak. I'm going to open up the Zoom room, but I want to speak to like a really specific person. Okay. And you know who you are. Like if you felt something come up while I was talking, it's you. Sorry. It's your turn. If you felt like that, she's talking to me. Woo! Sure was. Because that's your truth trying to rise up. That's all it is. It's that is you trying to be better. Maybe than you were 25 minutes ago. It wasn't random. Okay, so here's your challenge. I know something I said was meant for you tonight. It's your turn to raise your hand. Now, I will tell you that it doesn't have to be perfect. Please don't let it be perfect. I don't expect that. I'm far from that. Okay. But I want you to stop hiding behind your excuse as to why you feel like you can't come off mute and talk through this. This is a safe place. This is the safest place to do it. Trust me. I just want you guys to be real. You're getting the realest, rawest version of me. And I want that from you too. We all do. We don't expect you to come off mute and say it eloquently or perfectly. I didn't start that way. I've grown into that. Started just like you guys. And I see a lot of people on my screen that have over 100 pounds to lose still. I see some head nods. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.